In Chapter 13, we will explore how marketing helps buyers buy. Although marketing encompasses a diverse set of decisions and activities, it always begins and ends with the customer. This textbook defines marketing as the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings with value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. In this chapter, we're going to explore these activities that add value to products. The marketing concept is a business philosophy that a firm should provide goods and services that satisfy customers' needs through a coordinated set of activities that allows the firm to achieve its objectives. The marketing concept includes three parts: the customer orientation, service orientation, and profit orientation. The customer orientation means finding out what customers want and then providing it. The service orientation means making sure everyone in an organization is committed to customer satisfaction, regardless of the position that the person holds within the organization. And finally, the profit orientation, which is focusing on the goods and services that will earn the most profit for the company. To build long-term customer relationships, marketers are increasingly turning to marketing research and information technology. Customer Relationship Management, also called CRM, focuses on using information about customers to create marketing strategies that develop and sustain desirable customer relationship. By increasing customer value over time, organizations try to retain and increase long-term profitability through customer loyalty. Today, firms like Priceline and Travelocity use CRM that allows customers to build such a relationship with the supplier. Because CRM is such an important part of creating and building customer loyalty, many companies offer high-tech products aimed at helping firms to identify good customers and to manage relations with them over the long term. If you remember from the beginning of the semester, we differentiated between for-profit and nonprofit companies. This slide identifies marketing tactics nonprofits can use to market their organizations. These include things such as fundraising, special campaigns, helping change public opinions and attitudes, and increasing membership to their organization. It's important to note that nonprofits must effectively market their causes in order to reach their target audience. I want you to think for a second about how marketing of a nonprofit is different than the marketing of a for-profit product. Hopefully you've realized that there is a little difference between these two. I want you to know the concept of the marketing mix. This is a combination of product, price, distribution, and promotion developed to satisfy a particular target market. A business firm controls four important elements of marketing that it combines as a way that reaches the firm's target market. These are the product itself, the price of the product, the means chosen to distribute the product, which on this slide is noted as place, and the promotion of the product. When combined, these four elements form a marketing mix. The product includes the decisions about the product's design, brand name, packaging, and warranties. Pricing is concerned with both base price and discounts. Pricing decisions are intended to achieve particular goals such as maximizing profits or to make room for newer models. Distribution involves not only transportation and storage, but also selecting the intermediaries. For example, how many different places will a product go prior to reaching its place of distribution? And finally, the promotion of the product focuses on providing information to target markets. The major forms of promotion are advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and public relations. As mentioned previously, a product is a good, service, or idea that satisfies a customer's want or need. Part of developing a product includes test marketing and choosing a brand name. Test marketing concepts is when you are testing the product among potential product users. Sometimes you will see these things as limited time only or new menu items at a restaurant. One time I went to a place called Indiana Beach in Indiana, and when we went into the Walmart there, they had every flavor of Pringle, every flavor of almost any product you could imagine. It was one of the biggest Walmarts I've ever been in. They, of course, asked for the area code as you were leaving, and this way they could track which products were selling to which zip codes. This helps companies determine whether a product will be successful or if they should only launch it in one region or area of the country. A brand name is a word, letter, or a group of words or letters that differentiate one seller's good from a competitor's. So if you think about it, you have Apple, you have Samsung, you have a Ford versus a Toyota. These would all be examples of brand names. If you look at all of this together, when we talk about a product and we look at, let's say, McDonald's, when McDonald's decides on brand names, package designs, the size of orders, flavors that they're going to offer for sauces, these are all choices that are a part of the product when we talk about the product mix. The pricing part of the product mix is again concerned with both base prices and discounts. Pricing decisions are intended to achieve the particular goals that I mentioned before. Sometimes these are things such as rebates. Another thing to consider when you're determining your pricing are things such as competitor prices, how much your production costs, how much is distribution, which if you remember, that's the placement of your product, and then whether you're going to choose high or low price strategies. For example, Nordstrom is a high price strategy and Walmart follows a low price strategy. It's important that to consider the middleman when you're talking about the distribution or place strategies, because getting a product to a consumer is a critical part of the process, but it also adds cost. Therefore, you should know your distribution, how you're going to distribute your product when you are determining how to price your product. As I mentioned before, promotion are all of the techniques sellers use to inform people about their products and to motivate them to purchase the products. Ways to promote include advertising, personal selling, public relations, words of mouth, and sales promotions. Marketing research is the process of systematically gathering, recording, and analyzing data concerning a particular marketing problem. Marketing research is an important step of the marketing process because it involves collecting and analyzing data on what customers want and need, their consumption habits, trends that are occurring, and changes in the marketing environment. When conducting marketing research, it's important to consider whether you're going to use primary or secondary data. Secondary data is existing data that has been previously collected by someone else, such as maybe the government or a competitor, and they've published the information. Secondary data incurs no expense and is usually easy to access. However, it doesn't always provide all of the information that marketers of a particular firm needs. You also need to be careful with this because it might also be outdated. When companies use primary data, they are collecting the data themselves. So they're doing their own research. Methods of primary data collection include telephone, online, and mail surveys. You could do personal interviews or focus groups, which are another way to collect primary data. The great thing about primary data is it's current. It won't be outdated, but it can also be very expensive and time-consuming to gather. As I mentioned on the previous slide, focus groups are a good way to collect primary data. This is when a company gathers a group of people who meet under the direction of a facilitator or a discussion leader to communicate opinions. When I was in the flavor company, there would be focus groups for tasting products. For example, no matter how good of a taster you are, you can't taste like a 5-year-old. So the company could bring in 5-year-olds, right, to taste the product, and this would be an example of a focus group. Another example is when P&G gives free diapers to new moms, and the moms agree to come in, once a month to give their feedback to P&G on what they liked and did not like about the diapers. This is also an example of a focus group. Environmental scanning is the process of identifying factors that affect marketing success. The environment of marketing is changing faster than at any time in our history. Companies that don't keep up will fail to survive. Today's marketing environment is influenced by the global marketplace and the availability of the information in the information age. To be fully prepared, a company must recognize and understand the following. They must understand cultural influences, government and political influences, how the demographic and lifestyle trends are changing, national and world economic trends, and the strength of multinational competitors, and finally, how technology is influencing physical distribution. The consumer market is made up of all of the individuals or households that want goods and services for personal use and have the resources to buy them. If you remember a few chapters ago, we differentiated between business to consumer and business to business organizations. Buying behavior may be defined as the decisions and actions of people involved in buying and using the products. When we talk about the consumer market, we're talking about that B2C market. However, when we're talking about the buying behavior of businesses, we're talking about the business to business market. This is made up of individuals and organizations that buy goods and services to use in production or to sell, rent, or supply to others. For example, when a brake company sells their brakes to Toyota that then puts them in the car for the consumer, they would be participating in the business to business market. That's why the end use of the product is what determines if it's a B2C or a B2B market. Most of the time, organizations can't serve everyone. The size and diversity of the consumer market forces marketers to decide which groups they want to serve. A market segment is a group of individuals or organizations within a market that shares one or more common characteristic. The process of dividing a market into segments is called marketing segmentation. Target marketing is a group of individuals or organizations, or both, for which a firm develops and maintains a marketing mix suitable for the specific needs and preferences of that group. In other words, this is the group that the firm has chosen to serve because they can do so and still make a profit. There are many ways that organizations can segment the consumer market. For the purposes of this class, I want you to know the three shown on this slide. They are geographic, demographic, and psychographic segmentation. When we talk about geographic segmentation, this is dividing the market by cities, counties, states, or regions. Additionally, demographic segmentation is dividing the market by age, income, education, or other demographic variables. Often, this includes ways that can be seen from looking at a person from the outside. Psychographic segmentation, however, is dividing the market by group values, attitudes, and interests. This differs from the demographic segmentation, is psychographic segmentation are items that cannot be seen from the outside. Somebody has to let you know them. You can't tell just by looking at them. Mass marketing means developing products and promotions to please large groups of people. If you think about the Apple iPhone, Apple does not run different commercials that are aimed towards reaching different segments of the market. Instead they use one commercial, right, one conference to announce their new products and so on. The opposite of that is relationship marketing. This rejects the idea of mass production and marketing and focuses towards custom-made goods and services for the customers. Relationship marketing deepens and reinforces the buyer's trust in the company, which, as the customer loyalty grows, increases a company's understanding of the customer's needs and desires. Successful marketers respond to customer needs and strive to increase value to buyers continually over time, and they can do so through both mass marketing and relationship marketing.